Hello folks, this is Sula speaking. You're listening to another video for Teamfight Tactics. In this game, we're going to be looking at a team composition that features Varus and features the Cluttered Mind augment. This is taken from a ranked game. This is in high platinum, so hoping that I can get a top 4 finish and keep pushing towards diamond rating. And as mentioned, we're going to be looking at a team composition that goes into the Cluttered Mind augment, which I'll say more about in a minute. All right, so here on the initial carousel, I was trying to take a bow, and that has been my preferred item in this patch version. There's going to be a very large patch coming out soon after this video gets posted that's going to scramble everything around. I did not end up getting the bow, but I am pretty happy to be able to take a sword out of that as well. So yeah, this is played on a patch where Varus was quite strong. Varus was one of the dominant comps on this particular patch, but they are apparently going to be making changes that nerfs all of the AD for all of the units across like the entire game. It's a very bizarre decision, but that is apparently what's upcoming, so we will have to see what change that what changes that results in. But relying on 3 cost 3 stars does not seem like it's going to be a thing, or at least the ones that are AD focused. It seems like they really want to hit that. All right, so as I mentioned, I tried to get a bow, did not get a bow, ended up getting a sword, which I was quite happy with, and then a glove pops out, and then I'm going to get a rod here. So I have the pieces for Infinity Edge, and then potentially a Rage Blade if I want to head down that route. Unfortunately, I haven't really identified a carry that I want to play through yet, which is a bit unfortunate. I suppose if more mages pop out, I could look to try to play a mage setup here, but that's not quite what I'm looking for, since in this patch version, AP champions were not especially strong. Mage is playable if you get a good mage opener. Otherwise, AP kind of not a thing, and it feels like the developers really want to force AP to be a thing. But anyway, so I'm going to get more gold here, so I will buy up the board, grab all the different champions I can get, and then, here's our first augment choice. I actually don't like any of these. The best choice would probably be the Cavalier crest, but I'm going to reroll that, and there's Cluttered Mind. If your bench is full at the end of a round, gain 4 experience points. So this is, the obvious comparison is to Clear Mind, which is an augment that's been around since back in set 6. But this is the opposite. This is Cluttered Mind. So again, if your bench is entirely full, then you get 4 experience points for free. So on face value, it seems like this is better than Clear Mind, because Clear Mind requires you to have an empty bench, and Clear Mind only gives you 3 experience, not 4 experience. So you might think, well, obviously Cluttered Mind is better, right? It turns out in the data, not so much. Turns out that Cluttered Mind actually tends to perform worse in the data than Clear Mind. And the reason for that is should become more apparent if you kind of look at my situation here. So in order to make use of Cluttered Mind, you have to have a full bench. You know, there are 9 slots on your bench, so you have to have 9 champions standing there. Even if they are all 1 cost units, that means you have to sink 9 gold at the very least into filling up your bench. For example, I wasn't even able to fill up my bench. I still actually have an empty slot, and there's just nothing I can do. I can't afford it. So I do not get the benefit here at the start of this round. It also means you cannot you can't go to level 4 early on. You basically have to stay at level 3, because if you put 4 gold into leveling, it's going to take that much longer to try to fill up your bench with these additional units. By the way, I am going to shift into Ezreal here, because I think Ezreal is going to be a better item holder. I suppose I could make 2-star Karma here, but if I make 2-star Karma, can I still fill up my bench? It actually looks like I could, so I probably should have done that, and then maybe I could have just played these items on Karma as a 2-star unit. So I probably should have played 2-star Karma, but I was worried I would not have enough slots to fill up my bench if I did that. So you can see the problem. In order to get the benefit, you have to sink at least 9 gold into filling up your bench, which is very, very, very expensive in the early game. In addition to that, you basically can't level to level 4, and so you're kind of forced to play a very weak board, and you don't really have any alternative other than to Lost Streak in the early game, which is, of course, what I'm doing here. I am getting pounded by these enemy teams. I've taken 8 damage and 8 damage, and I have not been remotely close to killing anything in these fights. So finally here, now I'm actually able to get in I'm finally able to get the Cluttered Mind benefit onto the board here for the first time. So I'm going to go ahead and look to do that. But you can see the problem is Cluttered Mind almost forces you to get out to a bad start. It's a bad start in terms of board strength. It's a bad start in terms of economy. And it's just not easy to kind of put this together. So I'm just going to toss Astral in so that I can start getting the Astral shops. And this is deliberate because, as I mentioned, my goal is to play into Varus in this game. There is a lot of synergy between playing Astral Varus and having Cluttered Mind, because the Astral trait means you're going to fill up your board with a lot of units you're trying to hold to 3-star units anyway. And then you're going to be getting free XP with the trait. You know, instead of getting 2 XP for free every round, you're actually getting 6 XP for free every round. By the way, this fight is really sad. Look how close I am to killing the Volley. Do I actually kill the Volibear? Come on, Skarner. No, I do not. I don't kill anything. So that's another 8 damage. Or what is it? Yeah, another 8 damage. I've taken 22 damage thus far. I guess that's 8, 8, and 6. So yeah, not a good start. 78 HP. And so that's really the risk of this setup, is you're kind of get out to a bad start in terms of board strength and economy, and then you have to play from behind while lost streaking. And that's tough to do. That's inherently puts you behind the curve. And it's like, so the long-term potential is great from this augment, but in the short run, you're in a lot of trouble and you have to dig yourself out of a pretty deep hole. Well, if there is one good thing, it is you do get increased carousel priorities. So there is a 3 gold Lulu on this second carousel. So I am happy to take that, and I can sell that and grab this bow. And then I've got a Rage Blade, Infinity Edge Rage Blade, good items for Varus. Infinity Edge is technically not considered one of his best in slot items, but I had the components for it, so I am happy to make that item. All right, I'm also going to pick up another Ezreal. There we go. And I get my first big hit of RNG luck here, in the sense that I had an Ornn in the shop at 2% odds, so I will happily play that Ornn. Ornn this early in the game is going to be great to have. He also synergizes with Ezreal. I can get Tempest straight in while playing a Bruiser. Oftentimes people will play Kiana or Lee Sin just to try to get Tempest straight in the early game, because it's handy to have. But instead of playing those units that don't fit my comp and are kind of on the weaker end, at least in this patch version, I can play a much stronger unit that does fit my comp in the Ornn. And so this is going to allow me to hopefully get closer to additional Bruisers. I would be quite happy playing 4 Bruisers here if I can get another unit in. I'm also still maintaining Astrals for the Astral shops. And you see the difference Ornn makes quite immediately. I'm able to win a round instead of losing a round. By the way, this person is rich get richer and 40 gold already, so that person looks very dangerous in the long run too. They're also playing like an econ strategy. And then I'm going to hit the 2-star Ez, which is nice. So I'll go ahead and pick up some of these other units. Again, it feels weird not selling these units to get to 20 gold, but it actually is better to be at 18 gold and a full bench, because I get 4 XP. So it's like getting 4 gold for free, essentially, by having that bench full. And then I decide I'd rather play Vlad than the Nidalee. I think Vlad is slightly better for what I'm running here. Not that it makes a big difference. So again, I did win that round. In theory, it might have been better to lose that round to keep loss streaking, but I'm not going to deliberately weaken my board to the point where I'm continuing to loss streak. I know that sometimes people will do that, but they will take units out and deliberately weaken their board to keep loss streaking, but I'm not going to go to that extent. Anyway, I am up against what appears to be the strongest comp in the lobby. A whole bunch of 2-star units. They have, 2-star Jinx, 2-star Heimer, 2-star Shen with a static Shiv. So I am 100% not going to beat that person. And so I'm going to take another loss, and I fall down to 72 HP. So I am in some danger here. I've just taken way more damage than I want. But I've gotten some of the pieces that are going to be useful for this team composition. I have a 2-star Ezreal, which can hold these items for the time being. And oh, there we go. There's a Varus in the shop. So let's get that Vlad off the board and put in the Varus. So now I will have Astral in with units I actually want to play. Alawi, Skarner, Varus. And I actually have an item remover too, which is really nice. That means that as soon as I 2-star the Varus, I can take these items off Ezreal and put them on Varus. Varus is going to use these items much better than Ezreal can. Ezreal deals magic damage. He really does not want Infinity Edge unless he has a Jeweled Gauntlet pair with it. Also, what am I going to get here? Oh, your bench is full. So I actually can't pick up whatever's in that gold orb. So that means it's not a spatula. It means I'm going to get something. I was assuming it probably had a multiple champion drop, but it turns out that is not what's in there either. So I'll just hold off for a round, wait until the start of the next round, and then pick it up on the following round so that I can clear bench space for whatever this is. All right, so let's go ahead. We'll sell one of these units, and let's see what's in this thing. And, oh, it's a Tome of Traits. Okay, well, that's kind of cool. I'm going to go ahead and put in this this Tom Kench for Bruisers, and then I'm going to go ahead and roll so that I can try to get some Astral units in. The main thing I want to try to see if I can hit Varus 2-star. So I'm going to keep rolling. I hit Alawi 2-star, and then I hit Varus 2-star naturally without even having to go to an Astral shop. I would have rolled down to the next Astral shop there. So that was the goal, was roll on 6 until I can get 2-star Varus. And then once I get 2-star Varus, then I can transfer these items over. I can't do it in the middle of a round. But once I get 2-star Varus, stop there, and then we'll go to we'll rebuild our economy. We'll use Cluttered Mind to get back up to basically give us free XP while rebuilding our economy, and then roll on 7, and on 7 see if I can try to 3-star the Varus from there. So that's what one of the things that this augment does is it kind of forces you into some odd leveling patterns and rolling patterns. So I'm really trying to combine the Astral trait and the way that you can get these additional units with the with trying to first 2-star to stabilize and then 3-star after that. So I get another big hit of RNG luck here. If you look at what's in my shop, or what my options there are, I have makeshift armor, so I'll come back to that in a second. And then I pull the Tome of Traits. I waited 1 round to make sure that I was going to get the benefit from having all of my traits in play. And then from Tome of Traits, there is Bruiser emblem available. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. Now I can play 6 Bruisers on level up at level 7. And that's going to be very strong in the mid game. Plus, it's going to synergize beautifully with the augment choice that I have here. I was able to take makeshift armor. So makeshift armor is going to give everyone that does not have items extra armor and extra magic resistance. And again, this is just perfect for playing a Bruiser setup. What do Bruisers get? Bruisers get lots and lots of health. I believe the 4 Bruiser benefit that I'm getting right now is 350 health, and then that's doubled for all Bruisers themselves. So like the whole team gets 350 HP, and then the Bruisers themselves get double that, 700 HP. So they get a ton of health. Well, what makes them tanky if they already have a lot of health? What else do they need? They need armor and magic resistance, and that's what makeshift armor gives me. Extra armor, extra MR. I believe the gold one is... it's either 30 or 40 armor and MR. I think it's 40 armor and MR, although don't quote me on that because I don't have it in front of me right now. So this just synergizes perfectly with the Bruiser trait, and it also synergizes perfectly with my items. Note that I have no defensive items. 0. I have no defensive items. All of the items I've gotten thus far have been offensive items. So the value of makeshift armor in this situation is just like off the chart strong. By the way, I'm also picking up some champs that I might want to play here in the form of like a Twitch, because I could potentially run 4 Swiftshots. I also, of course, could drop Ezreal for Twitch, and that is the standard thing that people do when they play Varus, is they play Varus plus Twitch. Twitch gives the guild benefit. It also has a little armor shred. But because I have Ornn on my board, I think it's better to play the Ezreal. And in fact, I'm going to keep Ezreal on the board as long as I'm playing Ornn, because I think it's better to have Tempest trait, and I also have a 2-star Ez already, whereas I would not have a 2-star Twitch. So this is, again, me adjusting my setup based on what units I'm running. And I think the Ezreal is actually better here. I even have a Bruiser emblem on the Ezreal because he's actually the best person to put this on. I'm not going to put it on Varus, but by putting it on Ezreal, I'm not taking makeshift armor value away from my various Bruisers. And it actually makes him super tanky there. He tanks that Kayn that jumped into the back line, which is pretty hilarious. Like, this Kayn jumps in the back line, and then it's like, oh, it's Bruiser Ezreal. Well, he's got 700 extra HP, so have fun with that. All right, so I have started to stabilize here. I've won the last 3 rounds in a row, which is, of course, what I was looking to do. Now, I, of course, could take a defensive item here, but I don't need to prioritize defensive items. I have makeshift armor, so I'm going to take this sword. It's on a 4 gold talon, so that's very good. I'm getting the max gold I can from this round. Plus, I'm going to get a sword, which is perfect for Varus. I would love his last item to be either Giant Slayer or Deathblade. Either one would be quite good here. Basically, I just want to increase his overall damage. I've got the Rage Blade now, so he's got attack speed. I have IE, which is going to provide some damage. So, as I said, either Death Blade or Giant Slayer is going to be good for his last item. All right, and then I realized, by the way, I should have Shen in because Shen's a better unit than Tahm Kench. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in. This is an Astral Shop, so I want to look to put in some units. And here I decide I don't think I'm going to play the Twitch. So I'm going to go ahead and sell that. And I actually still have a Nami on my board. I was just debating, should I play Nami in my setup here? It's quite common for people to play Nami in this team composition. And then your Astrals are Varus plus Alawi plus Varus. Or excuse me, Varus plus Alawi plus Nami are your 3 Astrals. But because I've got, this Bruiser emblem, I think instead of playing into Nami, I think that I just play into Skarner instead and run more Bruisers. Because if I can get 3-star Skarner and run like 6 Bruisers, it's actually going to be a pretty tanky unit. Again, especially with that makeshift armor value. So I'm just kind of cruising here. And this is so good for me because I rolled my economy down to like 10 gold. But I think it was the right decision. It stabilized me super duper hard, got me 2-star Varus. And now I'm just using the Cluttered Mind to get my economy back in shape. I've been making steady progress towards level 7 despite not having to roll at all. And so now I've kind of rebuilt myself back into being in good shape economically. I'm on a full win streak, 4 rounds, and now I'm actually one of the healthier people in the lobby after that disastrous stage 2. So I think that I did have some luck to hit the units I did. The 2% Ornn, definitely lucky. But I also think that I've played this pretty well as far as making use of both Astral Trait and also making use of Cluttered Mind. All right, so this person they're running through Nunu with Mirage. I'm trying to remember what the Mirage trait was in this game. Unfortunately, I am not exactly sure. Maybe we'll be able to tell over the course of this fight. So this fight actually turns into it looks like it's very, very close. And the Nunu is clearly the dangerous unit here. They have they've got the Archangel Staff, so it's scaling over time. They also have the Gunblade for heals, and that Thresh Hook. Ooh. That Thresh Hook, super duper annoying, that second Thresh Hook. Varus stops DPSing just for a little bit, and we're down to just the Nunu. I was like, oh, Ezreal, you got me? Come on, Ezreal, you got me? Oh, he gets eaten at the last second with 8 Archangel stacks on that. So that's unfortunate, and this is me making a mistake. I should have leveled there because I was so close. Because I was on such a long win streak, I should have leveled and played 6 Bruisers there. And I would have maintained my win streak, which would have been very, very valuable. 6 Bruisers 100% wins me that fight. So definitely a mistake, but I was trying to econ my way all the way to level 7 without having to put anything into experience. And I just got caught there. Super close round, but as I said, it was the wrong decision. Should have leveled to make sure that I preserve win streak. All right, here I'm going to get some defensive items. I'm not as happy with these, but anyway, we'll get to that in a minute. Right now, I need to roll. I am trying to see if I can 3-star Varus here, so I'm going to keep rolling. And this is a great Astral Shop. Got more Skarners, more Varuses, more Alawis, and I'm going to keep fooling with my bench. By the way, this is one of the weaknesses of Cluttered Mind, is you have to spend a lot of time fiddling with your bench. I don't know if this has come across in this video, but I have not been able to spend as much time scouting other boards because I've had to invest so much time into fiddling with my bench. All right, so I actually run out of time there, which is unfortunate. I wanted to keep rolling until I could see if I could 3-star the Varus, but I just run out of time. And as I said, this is one of the problems of this setup. So I still have 2-star Varus, and I still have 2-star Skarner and 2-star Alawi. Although I have 6 Alawis, I have 8 Skarners, so I'm really close there. But I also did get something else here in my shop. I find a Siphon, and I was like, ooh, Siphon. That sounds good. I'm playing this Bruiser setup. Siphon feels like it would be very good into this team composition. By the way, I am up against someone who is also playing Varus, and I had seen this person playing Varus before. They have rolled for Nami. They have Nami 3-star, so that means that there's a lot of Namis out of the pool, and that actually helps me because I'm not playing Nami. All right, out of these options, I decide, I'm pretty sure it's Thrill of the Hunt. I don't love Thrill of the Hunt, but it does mean that I don't have to itemize Lifesteal on Varus. And I'm going to go back to rolling here. Again, I'm trying to see if I can hit some of these 3-star units. There's another Varus. That's awesome. There's another Siphon. I have to pick that up. Running out of bench space here, though. So, ooh, 2-star Ornn. That's big. 2-star Siphon. Oh, okay. Was not expecting to hit that, but I will take it. So I'm going to play now Siphon. And so now I have direction in my comp. Now Siphon is going to be secondary carry. And now I know what the plan is for in terms of leveling. Get to level 8 and then put in Silas. And then Silas gives me 6 Bruisers, 4 Whispers. But I'm very close to hitting 3-star Varus. So I'm going to keep rolling in. Oh, another dream shop there. I'm going to hit the 3-star Varus. I hit the 3-star Skarner. And then there's 2 more Alawies to get me up to 6, or is it up to 8 Alawies? So, wow. Talk about good luck there. So and there's another Alawi in the store too. I have to pick this up. So I'll sell the Shen. I actually lose Cluttered Mind value here for the moment because I have rolled myself all the way down to 0 gold. But again, very similar to what I did on level 6 back on stage 3. I've sacked my economy in order to get much stronger here in the mid game. So just as getting 2-star Varus has stabilized me on stage 3, getting 3-star Varus and a 2-star Siphon, which I was not expecting, and a 2-star Siphon, this should stabilize me super duper duper hard here on stage 4. So the other reason to do this is because, remember, there's another player who's playing Varus in this lobby. So I am competing with this person for Varus units, and I wanted to make sure I hit 3-star Varus before they do. So I've actually both helped myself and hurt this other player by doing this. I have taken 9 Varuses out of the pool, and that's going to make it harder for them to hit Varus. Now, they should be able to hit the 3-star eventually because they, they're playing Astral Trait. They'll get the Astral Shop, so the odds are good that they will hit this unit eventually. But by taking these units out of the store, it is going to make it harder for them to hit the same team. So anyway, that's the logic there. I am still getting amazing makeshift armor value. I'm getting it on every single unit that's not Varus and the Ezreal, and that's why I'm not putting these items on any of my units. They're just defensive items, so like I could put defensive items on one of these units, but like what's the big incentive to do that? Whoever I put it on is going to lose makeshift armor value. I would rather wait and see what I can get out of Treasure Dragon and see if I can use some of these items to itemize the Siphon, because like if I can get a sword, then I can make Bloodthirster on him. If I can get a bow, I can make Titan's Resolve on Siphon. So I'll just hold these and see what I can get. If I get a glove, maybe it's Hand of Justice, although that's a little bit less necessary with Thrill of the Hunt. So you get the idea. I'll wait and see what I can get out of Treasure Dragon, and only then commit these items. Because hey, even Siphon is getting makeshift armor value while he's unitemized, and that's not bad. All right, so I have a choice here between making, I want to use this to put a last item on my Varus, and again, the bow gets taken, so that means instead of Giant Slayer, it's going to be Deathblade, and that's perfectly fine because Deathblade is one of Varus's best items. At least it was at the time this game was played. Deathblade is going to get nerfed in the upcoming patch because apparently the designers hate AD. No, they think AD is too strong, which is... I don't necessarily agree. I think that AP is just not designed very well in this set. But anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and put that on Varus. Varus is now fully itemized. And as mentioned, we're going to look to itemize Siphon going forward. So I'm going to pick up units. And now I will finally be able to get Cluttered Mind back in play again. I can pick up these. I want to grab 1-cost units and have them sit on my bench because they are the cheapest ones and have the least problems as far as Cluttered Mind. It costs me the least economic value. So now we'll econ up again, try to get to level 8, and then we can put in 6 Bruisers at level 8. Again, I ideally would have Silas. I have not been seeing Silas in the store, so that's why Tom Kench is still on my bench. If I can't find Silas, I'll play Tom just so I can get 6 Bruisers because he is a 2-star unit, and that's not bad. All right, we are up against the, what is this? This is the Mirage player in the lobby, and I'm going to cut through them pretty easily. Again, I don't really expect Varus to lose to anything at this stage of the game. He has an awful lot of damage, and my Bruisers are very tanky with all that health and the makeshift armor benefit. So I need 40 XP away? So that's only, what, like 5 or 6 rounds if I'm getting the Cluttered Mind benefit. And then again, I can continue selling these 2-cost units and pick up 1-cost units as they show up in the store. So come on down, Tarek, Vlad. I actually enjoy having these units pop up in the store so I can sell these more expensive units. All right, so again, I've been on a long win streak. I've been win streaking ever since I hit 3-star Varus and the 3-star Skarner. Skarner is in the corner tanking hooks. There are some people who are running assassins. So for this round, I'm going to box Varus in the corner because I am up against a potential assassin player, and I want Skarner to grab those assassins instead. Excuse me. And it looks like the assassins run over to aggro on Ezreal instead. So I'm pretty happy with that. Ezreal with his Bruiser emblem is fairly tanky, so he's going to survive that no problem. And it looks like we're not having any difficulty beating this person as well. That will run the win streak out to 4 rounds, and I have once again recovered my economy. So I do really think that I played around. Oh, I guess it's Dawnbringer is the trait, because it looks like the Mirage. It looks like it's Dawnbringer is the Mirage trait, because I saw the Deja healing there in the corner. So as I said, I have definitely had kind of a weird leveling and rolling pattern. And by the way, is this going to be a double loss between these two people? It doesn't look like either side can kill the other. Yeah, the rare double loss, which is awesome for the lobby. It's great to see 2 people taking a loss. All right, now it's Treasure Dragon. Again, I'm mostly looking for offensive items for Siphon here, so I'm going to refresh. And then I was like, oh, yes. Yes, this is just what I want. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to be able to make a Bloodthirster on him. And then I can go ahead and put this Hand of Justice on him. And then I was like, oh, Edge of Night. Edge of Night's always good on melee carries because it gives them the ability to drop aggression temporarily and then also provides attack speed. So are these best in slot? And then I have a leftover Frozen Heart, which I'll put on Ornn as my best frontline tank. So are these the best items for Siphon? No, definitely not. These are not best in slot Siphon items by any means. But they're still pretty good, and I'm very happy with running these. By the way, I was rolling here I was 1 away from an Astral Shop, and I was hoping I could get 1 more Alawi, because I am on 8 Alawis, but I will stop rolling here for the time being. I'm also hoping that I can find Silas. I would happily take out Tom and put in Silas. And by the way, there is the other Varus player who has now managed to hit Varus 3-star. A lot later than me. They didn't get it until the start of stage 5, so hopefully I have managed to delay that player a little bit. All right, and at the time being, yeah, I feel like I'm in pretty good shape here. Oh, and I actually hit them here, and look what they do. They reposition their Silas, who has a Blitzcrank hook, at the last second and actually grab my Varus. I actually saw that they were someone that I was up against, but they were not positioned to hook me. So they swapped at the absolute last second. But it turns out that Siphon's got me anyway. Siphon charges in the back line, bites their Varus, and we end up winning the fight anyway. But this was a valuable piece of information. I was like, this person is willing to swap at the last second. In the ranked games that I play, you don't necessarily see people doing this. So I now have to be aware that this person will reposition for the Blitzcrank hooks. The difficulty is that there are some people playing Assassins in this lobby, so I want Varus in the corner against Assassins, but of course I don't want him in the corner if I'm up against that person with the Blitzcrank hook. And there's someone playing Thresh as well. So yeah, and like this person has 3-star Olaf that I just scouted. So I want him. It's like it's kind of a guessing game as far as who I'm hitting, because like I can't be in the corner for the Thresh hook or the Blitzcrank hook, but I don't want to be on like left-hand side where that Olaf is. So as I said, it's kind of a guessing game, and sometimes you guess wrong as far as who you're going to hit. All right, this is one of the more interesting team compositions. This person has taken, it's either Dragon Horde or Dragon Alliance, and they've been building their team around that. They also have double cybernetics, so all their itemized units are getting extra health and armor and AD. And as it turns out, their Siphon charges in the back lines and jumps on top of Varus. And I was like, ooh, okay. That's unfortunate because I really need Varus's damage for this particular team comp. I was also kind of wishing I had a Giant Slayer for this setup. They actually do have a Giant Slayer on their side. But yeah, no Giant Slayer means it's going to be a lot harder to kill some of these enemy units. And we're going to go into overtime, but I'm pretty sure Ezreal does not have this. And so I'm going to end up losing that round. And that's my first loss since hitting the 3-star Varus. All right, once again, I'm just going to continue sitting here. I'm econing here a little bit, waiting to get that next Astral Shop. Ideally, I would hit the 3-star Alawi, and then I'd go level 9 and try to play one more unit. I also really would like to find Silas. He has not been showing up, just so I can get 4 Whispers in. It is a big jump to go from 3 Whispers up to 4 Whispers. They go from stacking 1 AD and 1 AP to stacking 3 AD and AP. So for this fight, I am boxed up against Assassins. Then I'm going to swap at the last second because I was worried about a Thresh hook. And oh, looky what we have here. There is, in fact, a Thresh hook. So yeah, there we go. And positioning for the win. So in this fight, I am up against a Corki player. The big problem with this person is their Corki has garbage items, just has a Thief's Glove, and has rolled pretty useless stuff for this fight. So even though Thresh is continuing to be annoying, there's really no damage in this team composition. We take out the Jinx really quickly. And yeah, Silas is running around in the back lines, biting people. And I mean, there's just really no way my team's ever going to die. I'm so tanky, they can't kill all of those Bruisers. All right, so it does look like it's coming down to 3 players in this lobby. It's me, it's the other Varus player, and then it's the person who's running all the dragons with Dragon Horde. I've won enough rounds that now I'm going to be last pick. Out of here, I would happily take the Zeeks, but I don't think that that is going to be available. Oh, wait, actually, no, the Zeeks is available. Oh, I could have gone for the Zeeks. Probably should have gone for that. Instead, I'm going to go ahead and take a frontline item, and I go ahead and take a Warmogs, which I'm going to put on Ornn. This is a bit of a questionable decision because I don't know that I really need more health. I have so much health already. It's kind of debatable as far as taking that. I think the Zeeks probably would have been a better choice. All right, I am going to go ahead and I roll for my Astral Shot. I hit the 3-star Alawi. And now we're going to go to level 9, once again making use of Cluttered Mind value, and then we'll look to play another unit at 9. I think the ideal unit is Bard, but, we'll just see what we hit. I could play Soraka, I guess I could play Yasuo, although he doesn't really fit this comp particularly well. But, we'll find something. We'll be able to find something here. Again, I'm continuing to keep the Varus out of the corner because of that Blitzcrank hook. And then once again, I've repositioned here, and note that I've got the assassins jumping on top of Skarner, which is great. It's like, yeah, have fun with that. Skarner has like 3,000 HP and makeshift armor value. So yeah, you guys go ahead and hit that unit. This is a well-itemized Deja over there on the other side. Looks pretty solid. And is going to do an awful lot of damage, but the rest of the team kind of falls apart pretty quickly. And no matter how much damage Deja's doing, once it's one-on-one with this unit, we're not going to lose. So yeah, you can heal once, but that's not going to be enough to survive. And on we go towards level 9. So there is, in fact, a Soraka here. I probably should pick up this Soraka in the store, just so I have an option to play at level 9. 1-star Soraka would not be particularly amazing, but 2-star Soraka would be very worth playing, so I probably should just pick that unit up. All right, it looks like now I know who I am going to be up against. It's going to be up against the other Varus player, so I want to try to have Siphon positioned so that Siphon is going on that Varus. That's my goal. And I want to make sure that the unit that's getting hooked is not Varus, so let's go ahead and swap there. I probably should have 3 units on the front line instead of having just the 2. And Siphon is not quite where I want him to be, but I do not get hooked, so that's good news. And oof, yeah, see, this is why Siphon needed to be more on the left-hand side. Siphon wastes the first charge jumping into my backlines instead of the enemy's backlines and bites a unit that was about to die anyway. But on the plus side, Siphon, we did manage to kill. Ornn did get off a good ultimate for me before he died. And now Siphon, oh, he's going right on the Varus. And oh, he dies right before he bites the Varus. And now it's Varus on Varus action. And oh, my Varus stops DPSing for 1 instant to toss out the Chain of Corruption. So somewhat bad RNG in that fight. To some extent, my positioning could have been better, but somewhat bad RNG as well. If Siphon had been swapped with Ornn, I would have won that fight pretty easily. And I think I should have had Alawi on the front lines as well. Now I'm going to get another Bloodthirster, and this is kind of an interesting choice. Who do you put the Bloodthirster on? This is like pop quiz for people watching. I could put this on Ezreal, but I think the correct choice is actually to put it on Ornn, and that's who I'm going to put this on. Not for the damage or the lifesteal. Obviously, that's irrelevant to Ornn, but Ornn has a ton of health. And when his health drops to like 50%, the Bloodthirster shield's going to kick in. So it actually is going to make him more tanky. And I think that this is the best way I can use this. All right, well, look what I have in the shop. Even though I'm only level 8, there's a Bard in the shop. And so I'm definitely going to play this. So now is the time to cash in my gold, go to level 9, and then we can look to play this. Then there's another Bard in the shop as well. So I was like, oh, okay. Well, we got to pick that up. And by the way, Cluttered Mind is now useless. So I've gotten all the value I'm going to get out of this. It is now a dead augment because it cannot provide any more XP. And so I'm going to look to just go towards level 9. I'm also going to shift around here because I don't want my Varus to be close to those melee dragons on the other team. Probably should also have Alawi on the front line just so you can steal some of their armor and MR. All right, so Siphon's going to get off a nice charge here. We're going to have dueling Ornn ultimates on either side. Bard gets off a great ult. He's going to freeze the entire enemy team there. But there's just so much health on this enemy board, and that Idas is very difficult to kill. So it's just a matter of, can I cut through all of the health on this enemy team before they manage to get through my front line as well? So Siphon on Siphon action here. Varus is focusing the Siphon. Can we finally kill this unit? Yes. So that unit's down, but now we still have to deal with the Shiou, and that's the unit I'm most worried about. My Siphon is down, so can we finish off the Shiou? Yes. And now it's like, can I win this round before the round times out and we get a double loss? And yes, just barely. Just barely win that round before it times out. Now I'm just rolling for Bard. I would not play Soraka over the Bard. Pike is interesting because Pike would get me Whispers, but it's like, do I want to drop down from 6 Bruiser? I don't think so. And there we go. Now we finally get a Silas to put in here. So it's like, as much as I would like to play Pike, I don't really see how I get Pike in. I guess I could drop down to 4 Bruisers, but I don't think that I really want to do that. I actually like having the 6 Bruisers. I think that's pretty good. So anyway, now I'm up against the other Varus player, so I'm going to be doing some swaps at the last second. This is deliberate because remember, this person, I know that this person likes to swap their units at the last second, and so now Siphon is perfectly positioned. He's in range to get on the back lines and get on the enemy Varus very quickly, so that's looking pretty good. My front line's holding up. Bard gets off a decent ult. Hit the front lines, not the back lines, but Oran's going to get that Varus over there. This person does have Ascension and Stand United, so they kind of have better augments than I do now that the Cluttered Mind has gotten its full value. This person does have better augments, but I'm going to end up winning that. It was a ghost round, and so now it's the Varus on Varus duel here at the end of the game, just the two of us against one another. So if you wanted to see that Varus was a strong comp in this particular patch version, this is kind of the evidence you need. Varus against Varus, both of us playing through the 3-star Varus. Now, we don't have the same comps around Varus. We're both running 3 Astral with a 3-star Varus, but I am running the Bruiser version, Bruiser plus Whispers, with 6 Bruisers, and then they are running the Mage version, which also is quite strong. I think the Mage version is slightly stronger in the data, and this person does have better augments, but if you look at their board, like everything on my side is 2-starred right now, except for the Bard, whereas they actually still have quite a few 1-star units over there. They also have a 3-star Nami that has no items, which is a little bit questionable, and they're trying to play through the... Looks like they're trying to play through Zoe. Also, in this fight, we're basically able to cut through the entire team before Ascension even kicks in, so that's pretty nice. Didn't get much value out of that. And now we've got another... We've got another carousel here, and they're going to go ahead and take Spear of Shojin. I think that's going to be for their Zoe, and then I'm like, okay, I'll just take 2-star Bard. That's fine with me. I also could get a Thief's Glove, but I just rather prioritize getting the Bard, period. So, yeah, I know the Cannoneer emblem's useless, and it actually costs him makeshift value, but, yeah, I mean, 2-star Bard, that's pretty good. 2-star Bard adds a significant damage amplification, increases the length of the stun, and increases the damage amplification that he gets, in addition to just being a tankier unit, so he's less likely to die. This person's actually clumping up against me, which I don't know if that's the right decision. So they're also still rolling for Astral stuff, so I'm like, all right, I'm just going to reposition so Siphon is pointed right at your Varus, and the Ornn ult is positioned so it hits the other team. Now that it is a one-on-one rounds, I don't really have to worry about the hooks that are coming out of their Silas. By the way, there's a Talon that jumps right on top of Varus, but I am not really scared that a 1-star Talon's going to do much of anything to Varus. I have Thrill of the Hunt, so Varus is going to heal whenever he kills something. Perfect Ornn ult comes off, even though Siphon kind of trolls in this fight. We're still winning these rounds pretty easily, and it hasn't really been all that close, to be honest. So I'm hoping I can win just one more round. Right now I'm just rolling for Silas, only unit I'm looking for. I've actually gotten a lot of pikes in this game, which is funny. I put a video on YouTube recently where I was looking for pike and rolled like 90 gold at level 9 and didn't hit him even one time. But in any case, yeah, I'm pretty happy with this setup. I just hope that this person does not manage to get the 2-star Zoe. So they've rolled it down. They're looking for 2-star Zoe. Does not look like they found her. So as long as that's the case, I'm like, I don't really need to reposition my comp. I see that they've got a Yasuo that's 2-star, but Yasuo doesn't really fit their comp. So I'm content to just stay with the positioning that I have right now. Also, for some reason, they moved their Lulu over to the right-hand side. I bet they were trying to move Varus and ran out of time and did not get the Varus over there. So I think they just ran out of time and did not get to swap Varus at the last second the way they wanted. But looks like my Varus board is better than theirs. So I'm going to win pretty comfortably in these last couple rounds. And it's a first place finish. The Cluttered Mind of Varus, making good use of Cluttered Mind. And makeshift armor was probably the MVP of this game, to be honest. I got infinite value out of makeshift armor by having the 6 Bruisers. All right, so it's a first place, and oh, looky here. Promoted to Diamond 4. You can't be demoted from this tier. And here's the little animation coming in afterwards. Yeah, I was very, very close to being Diamond anyway. But hey, it's always fun to get over the top. So once again, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Until next time, hope you're having a great week. Take care.